We have had a roadmap for the resumption of live sport and for the potential to get a crowd back in. How do you see things? What likelihood that you might have the 150,000 spectators or thereabouts that Silverstone is used to come July the 18th?
Well, there's a long way to go still. That's very clear. And the government has been very straightforward with us as sports promoters that this is not a given. And indeed, the Prime Minister set out on his roadmap. There are a number of tests and a number of hurdles that need to be passed, and this could go wrong at any stage. And there are things that are beyond people's control. You know, there's a vaccine we're dealing with, and new variants come out, and but the things that can be controlled seem to be going well. The rollout of the vaccine, and I think most importantly, this gives all of us sports fans hope, a cause for hope, and something to look forward to, because it looks like there is the possibility that we might be able to get back and see our sports this summer. And you know, I feel it almost puts the ball in our court to toe the line for these last few hard yards, and to make sure that we obey the rules to give ourselves the best chance of getting back and seeing that summer of sport that we want so desperately.
Yes. Well, are there various models then? Is there a 50% capacity, 75% capacity opportunity? I guess you've sold a lot of tickets already, Stuart.
We have sold a lot of tickets, not least because the majority of people from 2020 rolled their bookings over to 2021, which, you know, I will forever be grateful for from Silverstone's point of view, because it kept the cash in our business and saved us having to refund it. And that has sustained us through a year where we had no public come to any motorsport event in 2020. You know, it's been very tough for our business. So yes, we've got a lot of people who roll their bookings forward. Actually, I've been hugely heartened by people's enthusiasm to commit to a ticket now since this news. People are really keen to come. But you know, it isn't certain. There is risk. How we modelled the different scenarios? Absolutely, we have. Crikey, we've modelled it every way. We're just going to have to see how these first few steps go. There will be trial events. There will be learnings from those. We've offered to participate in that if we can help in any way to try and get us to closer to the checkered flag and the chance of a live event. Then great, that's what we'll do.
Yeah. People have questioned how cautious the government are being in all of this, but in a sense, do you approve of a cautious approach? You would rather steps that were taken, which, as you've intimated, do not have to be unmade at the last minute?
Craig, I think I'm like, somebody who runs any business in this country. We just need to get back to normal. And I don't know what the pace is. I don't have the data. I don't have the information. But these guys do. They're making very difficult decisions. They're making very tough decisions. They're trying to balance a huge variety of interests. We can, only support them, stand behind them, go with their judgment. And I'm absolutely not for criticising. We are where we are. I just, it feels realistic. I only know what I read in the papers and the media outlets online, but it feels suitably tempered that there might be a chance that we can get this race on this year.
Yeah. The vaccine rollout's been a tremendous success, and by the time your event comes around, most folk, most adults in the UK should have had at least a first jab. Is a vaccine passport, could it be a useful thing for those looking to organise sports events such as your own?
Yes, I think it could. I think that it is something that fans would absolutely consider if it gives them a chance to go and see their sport, whatever that is, their favourite team, their sport. I think that, well, certainly our technical people are already having conversations with testing organisations. There's been talk between me and other sports and the government about whether our electronic ticket systems could be linked to the data that is provided by a passport. It's not straightforward, but it's probably possible. So that's something I would vote for. Yes.
Okay. Just finally, let's look on the bright side. Lewis Hamilton going for an 8th World Championship. You have the Lewis Hamilton straight now, which is a wonderful thing. how wonderful would it be to have him there, taking the acclaim as he does year on year of all his adoring fans, as Sir Lewis Hamilton, I suppose, as well this year?
Lewis makes the atmosphere, has made the atmosphere at the Grand Prix for the last decade or so really, truly memorable. If you look back through the history of Formula One in Great Britain, there have been times when home heroes riding high have made a huge difference. You know, who can forget Mansell Mania, Damon on his slowing down that with a big Union flag out of the car. Lewis has made the place his own for the last few years. Do you know what's even more exciting is the way that the fans are adopting the two young British drivers on the grid, Lando Norris and George Russell. They've really got behind them both. And after George's stellar showing in Bahrain last year, you know, I imagine that people are going to get hugely excited there. Lando, they've got the Mercedes engine in the McLaren. This could be a truly fantastic British Grand Prix. I hope that we can create the atmosphere. We'll play our part to try and get us there. Our expectations are suitably under control, and I think, you know, all of our fans and ticket holders are realistic as well. But if there's anything that we can do as a sport to try and get this race on with fans, to create that special atmosphere, to welcome Sir Lewis to Hamilton Straight, absolutely, that's what we're going to do.